I'm Brittany.
And I'm Nicole.
And we're Those Girls. Welcome to episode 15 of our podcast. Today we're interviewing Kelly Barden with SKB Law. Hi, Kelly.
Hello. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming.
Welcome.
I'm excited.
You should at least start off like telling people how you feel about the microphone.
I'm sprung. It's like T-Pain.
You are now my favorite guest
I'm in
ever.
the studio.
You're the first guest to sing, actually.
Hey.
Hey, girl, hey.
Probably the last. I will not be welcome back after this.
Oh,
Oh,
one.
no, you were totally lucky.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's going on? How are things?
Oh, you know, it's wild. It's spring. It's the spring market.
Spring has sprung.
It's, you know, we're just trucking along, trying to keep busy.
Okay.
Inventory is awful. I found out today that a buyer's chimney that they're buying a house is collapsing, and the seller knew about it.
Cool.
Didn't disclose. So
Great.
hey.
Where are we in that process?
We now have $10,000 coming back from the seller, which is exciting because it was a $20,000 quote.
Cool.
I would prefer it to be the whole 20,
Right.
but
Take what we can get.
some is better than none.
We have to negotiate these days.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, when people are not upfront and they don't give you all the information, it makes it just sting a little bit more, but something is better than nothing.
Yeah, a lot of sellers won't do what's called a seller disclosure. So when you're listing your house, sometimes, although most agents don't, and rightfully so, don't let them fill it out.
Oh.
In this instance, there is a seller disclosure.
I'm learning something today.
No.
And on the chimney, they wrote NA.
Oh,
Which is a
Does that mean there's not a
is a
chimney?
no.
Wait,
So
is
is there not a chimney?
they might
Yes,
have
there is.
They might as well wrote
And
like
it's
none your
collapsing.
business.
So,
None your business about the chimney.
Right.
yeah, so it's now our business.
Absolutely. That's
So
a big
So
one.
in
though.
home inspection, it was found.
Home inspection was waived, which is we're back to the wild,
Everyone's
wild
doing
west.
that, yeah.
No.
But because chimney is attached to the house and it's a structural
yeah.
defect and it wasn't disclosed, we're dealing with that. But the seller's being reasonable and offering
Okay.
money, so yeah.
Yay.
So
Deal is still together, which is the goal. The goal
Right.
is to get to the closing table.
Absolutely.
So
Obviously,
folks out there, Kelly is a real estate attorney and she helps buyers and sellers on the South Shore.
I am. So I do that. My office is full service. So I do all the real estate conveyancing. Like you said, Brittany, buying, selling, or refinances, which they've been gone for
Wait,
a
do we have
while.
those?
I
Yeah,
haven't,
what
I
is
haven't
that?
done one since 2022.
What is a refi?
Or no, 2021. I
Yeah,
haven't done one
I
since
saw an
21.
attorney on Facebook did his first one. Actually, I think it was Todd just a few weeks ago,
Oh,
and I'm
Todd.
like,
Todd.
Shout
out to
Todd.
"Hey Todd, love him, awesome, super nice
Yeah.
guy."
Yeah.
But we also do personal injury. We do estate planning, so wills, trust. I do a little bit of probate law as well. So it's a good mix. We don't do criminal. We don't do immigration, but for the most part, any sort of other litigation we do, which is exciting. But
Awesome.
yeah, we're coming in the busy
Nice.
time, as you guys know, with real estate.
Mhm.
So everyone list
let's
your
go.
houses, and all these buyers go put offers in.
Yeah,
on.
we need more houses.
Yeah.
We need affordable housing.
we need yes.
Yes.
We need affordable
Truly.
Yeah,
housing.
we don't need $100,000 over asking. We
Nope.
don't need
Right.
waiving everything and everything under the sun.
I just had an interesting one. I had an appraisal issue.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen
Bad.
often.
No, it was only $7,000. It wasn't even
Which
that.
almost makes it worse.
Right. Like,
Right, that it's not significant.
right.
That you would walk away from, did they?
We negotiated this morning to meet in the middle.
Love it.
You know, but so it worked out really well. It's only my second or third in my career that I've
Yeah.
run into. I tried really hard. We only had one offer on the property. And that's because I priced it.
I'm sorry, seller, buyer?
I have a seller.
Got it.
I have a seller. And I priced where the market is. You know, like
You have to.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with like 3 offers. I don't like, I have a friend who listed a house right down the street from this one a week after I did,
Sure.
and did open houses and had like 130 people through.
Wow.
And
It's insane.
I don't even know why you would want that though.
no, and his sellers had 28 offers to choose from. And they went so far over asking when I called him and I was like, hey, did you get your appraisal back? He's like, well, now I'm screwed. I'm like, I'd much rather negotiate where I'm at and have 1 or 2 offers
Right.
Right.
than, you know, give a song and a dance.
Right. I had a client, he put an offer in on a house, $1 million house, 2-family in Jamaica Plain, waived their mortgage commitment. and yet they were taking a mortgage out.
What?
How do you do that?
It was
Is that a thing?
the
as
most
the
nerve-
mortgage officer, I would be extremely uncomfortable with that because number one, part of
Yeah.
my job is to protect their deposit, as is the attorneys. So my
Mhm.
commitment date, I got taught. So a lot of LOs, I guess, in the business, I'm very new still, but they blow through commitment dates like they're not a thing. And I got taught, thankfully, where I was, that commitment date is Bible. You do not
It's-
miss that date. You do not communicate about it. And if you can't hit the date, you're telling them at least the day before.
It's more important than the closing date.
Yeah,
Honestly,
Absolutely, because it
honestly.
protects your buyer's money. And
So I've
that's
got-
what we're all here for.
My desk, it's old school. I literally have a calendar, with
Mm-hmm.
you tear off the page every
Mhm.
month, and there's, the John Doe mortgage commitment in
Yeah.
highlighter on the day that it's due.
I
Yep.
do the exact
And
same
that's
thing.
the first
I have-
thing I do that morning is
Yeah.
what do I have for
Yeah.
commitments? When are they due?
I have
Checking with
like
the
I have a
lender.
board with all my people on it.
Yep.
And
Oh
when
my
when I move them to the next column and they're accepted, I don't write the closing date, I write the commitment date.
Mhm.
Right.
I'm
right.
looking at that date the whole time. That date is in my brain. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's
I
what
had
I'm
my
doing.
hair done last night for this, but it was a lot of gray hairs over those 7 weeks of that closing to happen because
When did they- how-
$100,000 down.
I'm like
And we
dying
closed, and
inside.
everything was fine, and yay.
When did they give commitment? Sorry.
It was
Did anyone ask for it?
no, because in the offer
So you
there
just-
was
Right. So I'm curious of what that offer looked like because for me, if I know a client is getting a mortgage and like I'm not a loan officer, I'm not an attorney.
Mhm.
You guys are the queens at that. It's not something that no, I'm not good at it. Like I open up doors.
I couldn't do
scary.
what you do.
Right.
It's
Like
scary,
show
right?
people where
So
kitchens
scary.
and bathrooms are. I don't, so for me, I always have the conversation. If we're removing this mortgage contingency, like you need to show me proof of funds for the entire purchase amount. And as a
I like that.
and as a listing agent,
Makes sense.
Love
if
that.
someone is, I don't think you can just write off like I'm getting a mortgage for $1 million, but I don't need a mortgage commitment. Like
Right.
what listing agent would take that? So I'm really curious of what that offer looked like.
I don't know. I think they knew that he was taking a mortgage out, but that he waived that commitment.
That's wild.
I think they knew full well
I think
because
the only
I
time
have
I,
anxiety for that.
because there was
I
a
hate it all.
minor hiccup with the appraisal. And the buyer took care of it, and we closed, and everything was fine and dandy,
Oh.
and he's in his house.
Wow.
And, it was very,
That's like my worst
very
nightmare.
stressful.
I
7
think
weeks.
the only time I've not had a commitment date one time, but it was a family sale.
right,
It was
That's
like
different.
it was like a mother
Yep.
selling it to her daughter, and
Right.
she was
And
like,
probably no money down.
right. So
or
it was
$1,000 or
no, there was
something
no money down. It was a
significant.
VA anyway. It was just it was very like easy. I knew
Yeah.
it was going to happen. You know what I mean? There's no risk there.
It's the wild, wild west out there.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, it's the inventory's not there, so people are desperate to get houses, and they're
Mhm.
gonna do what they have to do, which
Yeah.
is so scary.
And then on the other end of that, you're gonna love this.
Is she going to tell her about our day?
I'm gonna tell you about our
Oh,
day.
no.
So we had-
We have a circus going on. So
Do I have to buy a ticket?
yes,
It's
you-
not
you-
over.
It's not over. You have a front row seat. If the phone rings, we might be
Fantastic.
doing this live on air.
Fantastic.
We put a home under agreement back in January.
Okay,
It is
with the buyer.
with a buyer.
Yep.
Yep. So buyer, first time home buyer, and super excited to buy a house. She wanted a fixer upper, conventional buyer, get her under contract.
First
with-
house.
First
Yep.
house. First
Awesome.
house. Mom and dad are helping her buy it. Super family. Like they're super cool. They're out picking out cabinets, doing all these things. But it is a probate sale because one
Very
person
fun.
one person is an estate and one person is an assisted living. So great,
Mm,
fantastic. We just wait to go through probate, which takes 3 to 4 months.
Yes.
Okay. So you know probate very well. So, and that's not even the
Disclaimer, everyone, please do a will or put your property in trust.
Yes.
Please, 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 public service announcement. Thank you for my TED Talk. Do a will, please. I'm sorry. keep
Like,
going.
no,
that's
you
what this
are right.
opportunity was all about.
yes, no, and that's
Yes.
and that's part of it. Like I feel like
Plug.
you are
To the 45 people.
you are
Get a will.
someone that can really help and go through this whole process so we don't
Right.
end up where we are. So they've gone through the first leg, but we have to get the license to sell. And a lot of people don't understand in probate that there's 2 parts to it.
Right.
And
Or in
it-
court twice.
right, and agents
Yes.
and agents don't understand that
Nope.
majority of the time. So, and I learned the hard way through another transaction, actually on a personal purchase before. So, waiting for probate, and the issue was not with probate. The issue is with communication between all parties and being transparent.
Oh.
And so with this house, this particular home needs extensive work. And the plumbing is not intact. And we knew that when we
Okay.
put the offer in on the house. And so about a week and a half ago, at the same time as we're arguing to figure out where probate is, because we're waiting for the judge to come back because the seller did not file in a timely manner after purchase and sale.
Month and a
Oh,
half.
boy.
Yeah, it was 6 weeks.
Mhm.
And so buyer calls the town to ask a question, and we find out the water meter's been changed in the house.
This is last week.
Which is fine. Water meters, a lot of towns require on sale,
Okay.
water meters are changed
Yep.
and things like that.
It was an
Fine.
old house too, so it probably
Old
nobody had
house.
lived there in a while. Yeah.
Been vacant like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So we go through the process, whatever, and the buyer calls me last week and she's like, hey, I'm told the water meter's changed. Really concerned because there can't be running water to the house because we know that the plumbing is not sufficient to have water through.
Yep.
I emailed because at this point, everyone, sellers, buyers, list agent, attorneys, for everyone. I'm pretty sure the judge was on one email. at
Everybody's
this
on
point.
everything
Like,
because this
on-
was it was just a not smooth transaction
Yep.
right.
on the selling side with communication.
Got it.
Fine.
So-
we get through though. We're closing.
We're closing. So I emailed last week and I'm like, hey guys, meter was changed. We're really concerned about water being in the house. Can we have access? Ignored me. Complete ignored me.
Nobody answered.
Nobody answered. I'm like, okay, well, so like the town has to go in the house to change the water meter. So like people would be aware, someone has to meet them.
Right.
People would be aware if the water meter's changed and something springs a leak. Like,
Right.
so fine. So they would take care of it. Sure enough, final walkthrough this morning, we walk in and there's 10 inches of water through the basement.
Oh no.
Here's the good part. Here's the good part, Kelly. I called the listing agent and I'm like, hey, and she's like, tough shit. Try to get blood out of a stone. Close or don't close.
No. No.
So what would you do in that scenario?
Paragraph 9 of every single purchase and sale
Oh,
agreement.
Here we go.
It is not in the same condition as it was at the time of the
Ah.
offer or the time of the signing of the PNS.
Great. So then I didn't reference paragraph 9. Now it's ingrained
Never
in my
gonna
head.
forget
I'll
paragraph
never- I'll
9.
never forget that.
Triple check, but
However-
99% of the time it's paragraph 9.
Okay,
However,
there's a paragraph. though.
There's a
There's a
paragraph.
paragraph. So I said, well, we looked at the property and the basement was bone dry. And now there is a leaking pipe all over the furnace of this property. And so she said to me, well, it must be the water department's problem.
No.
Yeah.
Strike 3.
Oh, strike was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way
Well, so
before.
meanwhile, the funny part of this story is me and Brittany's weird intertwined relationship because we live in the town that this happened in. We're both 5 minutes away, our houses, from this girl's house that she's buying.
Sure.
I'm getting ready for the closing, doing my hair, getting dressed, doing my makeup, da-da-da. She had already dropped me off coffee. She texts me, there's water. And I said, how bad? She just wrote bad. And then the next thing I get is a phone call. I need you to go to my house and get the wet vac from Mark. And I'm dressed like this in heels and shit. And I'm like poking through her garage.
I'm in a basement of 10 inches of water in these heels.
So I'm texting her husband. I'm
Oh.
like, hey, I'm in your driveway.
God.
Pleasant Street. I shouldn't have said the thing.
No.
Whatever.
I'll
It
cut it
has
out.
water. I need the wet vac. He just writes, okay. No questions. Does not come out of the house.
Oh no, but what you didn't
Need to
get,
know basis at
but
this
what-
point.
but what you haven't heard is he called me on my way here and he went, you weren't the one shop vacuuming, were you? You don't know how to use it. Please tell me you didn't break the shop vac. He doesn't
We know how to
trust
use
you
it.
and I.
You just turn it on. You suck up the water, and then you empty it when it's full. I've done it
What?
1,000 times. Yes.
So-
But so that was the morning, and then this basement too is like
It's a hatch.
it's like a hole in the ground.
you have
Yeah.
to.
You can't stand up.
And I'm like,
No,
I'm
no,
not
it's a
going in
full-
there.
It's a full basement.
Oh, it is.
It's a full basement, but there is no access there's no bulkhead and there's no access interior in the interior unless you pull up the whole kitchen floor and go down a hatch.
So I'm like, the buyers are there. She's young, she's wicked cute, and she's like, "Hey, girl!" I'm like,
As she's walking
I was
in
like,
with my
I'm like,
shop.
and so the first thing I go, are we still closing? And they go, yeah, we're closing. And I was like, okay,
Wow.
but yeah,
Yeah. So,
But
and
what about the furnace?
and that was the thing. So we weren't able to test it because the house needs a lot of, so like in home inspection, we weren't able to test it. So like the likelihood of it like working or not working. We don't know. So we can't go
Yeah.
back on that, right?
Okay.
Like, but there's shelving. There was a cedar closet that's completely
Destroyed.
ruined. Like there's damage.
Yeah.
And
On top of all that, mold.
right.
Right?
Well, and
It's been
How
closed
much?
up.
And how long has the water been there?
Over a week.
At least maybe even 13 days.
I feel like it was the end of the week before last.
Well,
Like Thursday or Friday of the week before last.
yeah, like
It's been
So
there
we're
a
at
while.
2 weeks. Today's
Yeah.
At
Thursday.
least
Yeah.
a week and a half. Yeah, absolutely.
Whoa.
So as an attorney, how would you handle it? Because on top of it, the buyer's attorney is away on vacation.
We had a sub who was absolutely fantastic, but
Oh
So now
boy.
I'm dealing with a
Yeah.
sub who I've never met. I had to call and be like, "Hi,
And our
it's
attorney's
very
like-
nice to meet you. So this is the issue." And she's like, "I have the info for the file." I'm like, "Well, you have 40 minutes because we're on our way."
Right. Well, first off, I wouldn't close. I mean, I understand the buyer wants a house, but the second that deed's on record, you can't go back to a seller.
Oh, we can't get on record because the seller's representatives are fighting over where the proceeds go and are refusing to sign the CD.
Well,
And rate lock expires tomorrow.
that I said they're good there because they've signed their part, right?
the seller CD.
The buyers have signed before the rate lock expired.
Right, but if you don't close and say more than a day goes by, so generally our what I find is if in 24 hours we don't close and we're not on record, then the bank generally has to send a new package with a new closing date.
Oh, great.
You haven't closed.
This has never happened to me before, so we'll see what happens by the end of tomorrow.
Oh boy. You
Yeah.
guys are
So,
wow.
so probate.
She's literally like, glad it's not my problem.
How's that mortgage contingent commitment that was waived going?
Whoa. Well,
Yeah.
so for the CD part, right? Like that money, if they can't figure out who's getting the proceeds, that can just be held in escrow. So that's
Yeah.
something that I think
I
is-
figured that
is
wouldn't stop
easily
it
fixed, right? Like,
because it's the same amount of
figure it
money
out.
either way.
exactly.
It's just
figure
deciding
out
who it goes
and
to.
who it goes
Yeah.
to. One of the attorneys can hold it in escrow. That's
They should
you know,
just.
in things like divorces, you know, money in escrow until that's done. So that doesn't seem too big of the issue.
Mhm.
I think the water is definitely more of a concern.
Yeah,
Because what if there is mold
right.
and they're not willing to front any money?
Nothing. So on the way here, that was the conversation I had on the way here. So like our buyers are super sweet and they are like, we just want the house. We want it like we're
Of
good. Like
course.
just can we
They're
get,
this far. They're literally at
Right.
the day of
I mean,
closing.
we're 4 months down the road.
can we
Like,
get in and clean the water? Like that's
That's
their
all they
thing.
asked to do
Can we
today.
get in and
just
clean
get the water out and get fans in there so it doesn't get moldy.
and,
Right.
and can we get our plumber in? Can we just like start this? They were hoping to have a plumber out this weekend anyway to start those renovations.
Yep.
and
What's the listing agent saying in this?
pound sand, try to get blood out of a stone.
We're right, but
And it
right
was the
now
water
we're not even
department's-
bringing up money just yet. We just want to remediate the
Yeah,
situation. She won't even let them in.
She told me to call the water department and the fire department because the fire department was there at the same time. The water meter was changed doing the smoke certs and ask them to clarify if there wasn't water in the basement when they all left.
But she ignored the email a week and a half ago
Right.
saying, hey, can you check or can we check if there's water?
Right.
Right.
No response. So it's like, did you know?
That's
And you didn't
a
wanna
little
deal with it?
suspicious.
Right.
Or
like-
you just didn't want to look? What is it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was our morning
But
before
yeah.
we came here.
Well, you guys have had a much more eventful day. than I. You got me beat.
It's never dull with
you
us.
win.
Never dull.
You win.
Never dull.
That's a little crazy.
yeah.
But again, the second that deed gets on record for any
Right.
buyer, all the
Right.
good and all the not so good. I mean,
Right.
I can't tell
Right.
you how many stories I get of people who close within a few weeks after, and all of a sudden it's the fridge broke, the furnace went,
Right.
you name it,
Right.
can't do anything, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
it's
Good to know.
almost a good thing that you're not closed yet to deal with this. But,
Right.
you know, I think the buyer's going to dig their heels in a little bit and stand their ground.
Well, so that's what I was doing when I was speeding in on 2 wheels from the closing. I was on the phone with the attorney and I was like, okay, so if they can give us access in 15 minutes, we will drop wanting the hold back. We just need to get in and we need to
They
fix
just want
what's
to stop
going
the
on.
problem.
Like we
Yeah.
need to stop the problem.
Right.
And here we are. And I haven't heard back. So I'm like,
Wow.
if we don't in 15, so I like texting the buyer right now. I'm like, get the quote and have them add 10% to it or 20% to it just for
Well, and they could have just been easy and then now they're gonna yeah.
Put the money in escrow. I mean,
right.
Yeah,
if you
this
have
is what
a
this has
mold-
been like the whole
if
time.
this deal dies and you have a mold issue, you have much bigger problems on your hands than
Yeah, let them get
Right.
them.
Killing
Let them
this
stop
deal
the
and-
mold. That's just smart.
Right.
Exactly.
Because if we don't move forward on the deal, you're gonna have to come out and fix it and put it back on the market because you literally have.
And no one else is gonna buy it.
It was on the,
not with mold.
let me tell you this: it was on the market for 64 days in this market.
Yeah. If
So,
something sits, something's up.
yeah,
I mean, it's definitely like 1,000% a fixer upper.
Right.
That
right.
is what-
And we knew
Right,
it.
yeah.
We knew it. However, like just communicate and they would have taken care of it last week. Buyers probably would have gone in last week in there if there was water and fixed it. We probably
Right.
wouldn't have asked for anything.
So yeah, that's what we had.
Oh my.
So
That's pretty wild. That's up there.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's up there. Yeah.
that's just a normal Thursday in our
Yeah.
life.
So tell us about you though. What else do you do besides attorneying? Is that a term?
What else?
Attorneying?
Attorneying.
It is now.
Attorneying? Too long.
And impersonating T-Pain. Besides that,
Can we add it in? Wait,
I
can
am-
we add it in right now
yeah,
again?
exactly. Yeah. I'm sprung. Got me doing things. I am a beach
Please
bum.
keep going.
I am a beach bum, even though I am
Ah,
white
yes.
as can be. So I'm
That's
hoping that the
okay.
freckles will start to come
It's
in
about the
soon.
ocean.
Yep. My husband Issa, who everyone in my whole life refers to him, including myself, as Babe. I had friends forever who literally didn't know what his first name was because I
That's
was just like, oh,
cute.
babe.
Oh, babe.
So we like to travel. I think we might be taking a little trip to DC with my aunt, and my mom in June.
Fun.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be fun. Other than that, we just moved to Whitman a year and a half ago. First time
Cool.
home buyers. Whoop whoop. At the world's greatest interest rate.
Yes.
Oh my
So
God.
We're never moving ever.
you can't.
Mhm.
But just kind of doing projects around the house and
Fun.
you know.
You told me you were building a rocking
adulting.
chair.
Building a rocking chair. So I have
Ooh.
the world's best paralegal in the whole world, Renee. Shout out to Renee. And
Renee.
she got us rocking chairs for our front porch, which is awesome. So after today, we're probably gonna go home and check some emails.
I
and
feel
then
like
put
you
those
should, like,
together.
Make some like Arnold Palmers and sit in the rocking chairs.
Yes.
And
But
we
you
need
can put vodka in
photos.
them. It can be vodka.
Obvi.
We need
Is there any
photos.
other way to make them? Uh, yes. So you know,
Do you like
just-
some front porch sitting?
I mean, I haven't.
Do you
sat
have
on
a
it
porch?
yet. Yeah. So
Oh, I love it.
I'm a front.
I
porch
need
girl.
to like now that I have a chair, I feel like it's gonna be just perfect to
Just
sit and relax.
Rocking away
and-
after a long day.
So-
Yeah.
So do we have like neighbors that have kids? Are you gonna like? You
So
know-
the neighbors next to us are a younger couple like us, and they have 2 kids, which is awesome.
So will you sit out there and yell at them to stay off your lawn?
I
or-
mean, maybe we'll see. They put a really nice vinyl fence in, so
Ooh,
I'm hoping to
fence.
get the name of that company so I can put a fence up. 'Cause-
Fence.
I'm like
Fences make the
totally
best
picturing
neighbors.
like shotgun next to the.
Get off that property!
What is that movie with Clint Eastwood when he's like he's really old
yeah,
in it.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
it's
my
I don't know.
god! Yeah, I know
Al
exactly what you're
knows.
talking about. With the
not
with
today.
the car, Gran Torino.
Grant, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, it is. And
Gran
that's what he
Torino.
is. He's like always yelling
He
at the
helps the
kids.
neighbors' kids,
Yes, but he
yeah.
like also hates kids. Yes.
Yes.
I don't know why
yes.
I'm picturing that for you, but I love it.
We're gonna do the series on Kelly's
Babe is
front
Clint.
porch.
Babe is Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood, like, get off my property.
But she's gonna do the T-Pain voice.
Yeah,
Ooh, ooh. So he can be Clint, you can be T-Pain.
I mean that's a match made in heaven,
Obviously.
obviously. Duh.
I love this.
But no, honestly, that's
Cool.
it. Just
Yeah.
working, keeping busy,
Yeah.
networking, meeting awesome people like you guys.
Yes, we have our networking
have-
event at your office.
Yeah,
Coming up
We're
on
I'm
Monday.
excited. We're going to talk about some probate stuff, and again, a public service announcement. Please do a will, everybody.
Come to Kelly, do your will.
and if you haven't checked your will in a while, check it.
Yeah, life
because-
changes.
Public service
Life
announcement. I don't have
happens.
one, but I have no possessions. So, I mean,
But you still need one just to let the world know what happens, because what you think is going to happen if you don't have a will, the Commonwealth decides for you, and it could
No, I
be family
should make
members
one.
that you don't want to get something are going to get
Mm,
something.
that's a
so,
great
What
point.
are they gonna get?
So
I have
Patty's
nothing.
gonna get it all.
if
Yeah,
you're
what?
if you're on your,
Your
deed,
car and your birds.
if you're on a deed to your house, if someone else is on the deed with you, obviously that's key. But if, like, I had a client recently, it was husband and wife on a deed, they got divorced. So that makes it what's called a tenants in common.
Yes.
Mhm.
Husband passed away. So his estate now owns half of the house with the ex-wife,
Okay.
which
Ooh,
makes
fun.
very interesting. Yeah.
So who's wanting to move in with?
So
that
his
ex-
estate is the daughter, but now the daughter is selling as the personal representative of her dad's estate with her mom owning the other half.
Can you do that?
That's what we have to do because
Yeah,
one check,
I mean,
no
what
one
else would you
changed the
do?
deed.
Yeah.
So is it a forced sale because the daughter wants the proceeds, or is it
No, it was just time. It
mutual?
was
Okay,
mutual.
it's a
Yeah,
mutual.
which was a good thing.
That's
But
good.
Good.
they're in probate court, whereas if they had just changed it to joint tenants or put it in one name or not the other, we would be in probate court.
Do what Kelly says and get a will. I
Get
can't
a
do any more
will,
probate.
Put your property into a trust. Please, please, please. You're saving your family members literally thousands of dollars. And like you said, Britt, you're talking 3 to 4 months in probate court
Yeah.
easily.
Minimum.
Easily.
We actually like had a rush on ours.
And even with the rush, I'm sure it was
Yeah.
a couple
We were
months.
like
Yeah.
the skin of our teeth.
It's,
No, so the license
scary.
to sell came in. We were supposed to close Tuesday, so we're
Yep.
2 days past. We
Yeah,
we
came in.
signed paperwork, and we got the licenses to sell off record at like 8:00 Friday night.
Yeah, Mike like sent them to me. Oh, damn it. So bad at that. We'll cut that out too. But yeah, he sent them because I was like, can I just like get these in?
Right.
So they're there, even if they don't look at them Saturday. So they look at them first thing Monday. Because at this point too, we were trying to extend to Thursday.
Right.
But we didn't know. But I was like, they still have to go through underwriting process.
Right.
Like they have to see all the stuff. So
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that it really is okay.
yeah, and if people think that like this job is easy and we don't work, I was submitting documents at 8 p.m. on a Friday night. So
I was taught a
Like-
long time ago when I first got into real estate is not 9 to 5.
no.
Whether it's the realtors who work their butt off on the weekends,
Right.
7 days a
as
week.
she does. Yep.
Even with us, you get the
Oh,
call at 8
absolutely.
o'clock, you
Well,
get a
because
call on a
we work when
Saturday.
people are available. So it's
Well,
I need to put my application in. It's after 5 p.m. or it's Saturday or Sunday.
I think it comes down to, how vested we are in our careers in the industry we're
Also
in.
true.
There's
Because some
a-
are not available.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
attorneys, a lot of loan officers, a lot of real estate agents that don't do what we do to help our clients.
They shut their phone off.
They shut their phone off. For example, this listing agent today, don't know what you want me to tell you. Good luck. Don't
Right.
close. Like,
and the buyers were like, she really doesn't care. And we were
right.
like, we
standing
care.
there.
Like I could see the dad's face. He was just like, she doesn't
Right.
even
What is this
care.
even? Yeah.
Like
right.
what? Yeah.
Like, and I'm literally down there in 5-inch heels
Yeah, we
trying
both
to shop back, with them. Oh,
It's crazy.
I'll show you guys a photo. Al can show me how to figure out how to put it back in. So when I had asked the listing agent where the key was to get into the property today, because the lockbox is gone, this was her, this is where she
Oh,
put it. And
no.
this is how I had to get into the garage
Just show the camera. Put it right up to it.
to get I'm showing my butt on
Oh,
I had to
boy.
climb through the broken garage door to get the key.
I feel like she did that.
But it just shows
Yeah.
what a good realtor you are because most realtors are not doing that.
Yeah, you just have to be
They're
available.
at the day of the closing and they're, let the attorneys figure out. Or no, the
Yeah.
goal is to get the water out of the basement.
Oh, I shouldn't use the word steal, but like I've gained a client because their loan officer told them that they didn't work on the weekends. How are you going to put an offer in? How are you going to get pre-approved?
Right.
So
That's
yeah,
when people are seeing houses.
yeah. But
It's-
to my benefit, but like,
of course,
why would you do that?
we need to get the business where it is. So,
Yeah.
if someone's not going to answer the phone,
I'll answer the
I'll
phone.
gladly take that business all day
Right.
long.
Exactly.
Right.
So-
It's so true. You have to.
Right.
All right. Well, we love that you joined us today.
Yes,
this
thank
was
you
so
guys for
fun. I
having
didn't know that we were
me.
going to get a concert.
Yeah. So would you like to sign us off today?
Tell people where to find you, how to reach you.
Sure. So, again, Kelly Barden. I am the real estate conveyancing attorney. I'm a partner at SKB.
Congrats.
And thank you very much. In Hanover, we have an office in Quincy as well. If anyone needs to get a hold of me, my cell phone is always best, 857
Love that.
205 7118. My husband.
First phone number given out on the podcast.
Right.
Oh. Should we do that or not?
Why not?
Sure, why
It's
not?
public.
Why not?
People call us
It's
all
on
the
my
time
feed, yeah.
anyway.
It's on my email signature.
Yeah, it doesn't
so-
matter.
Right. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Email is KEB, my initials, KEB at skb-law.com. Any questions? Obviously, probate stuff. Like I said, please do a will. It's insane how many people
yes.
and how many family fights we see after your loved ones
Yeah,
are
we'll
gone.
we'll do something off air about me having a well.
Yes. How much time do you have? But yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for
All
having me.
right.
This is so fun.
Absolutely.
Thank you
And I'll
for
see you guys
coming.
next week.
We'll see you
See you
Monday.
next week. And we will see you
Hey.
guys next week as well. Have a good day.
Bye.